Hello, welcome to Moogle Speak. Today we're going to talk about E3 and some of the surprises we've had for Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm also going to bring up patch 1.22b, and that went live I believe yesterday, and we've had some nice little additions to the game. It wasn't a really huge patch, but there's been a lot of exciting things being added. So I'm just going to dive right into this patch and just get all that boring stuff out of the way. Well, some of it's boring, but actually the one exciting thing that we've had, actually there's two, but the first one would be the relic weapons. So it's called Relic Weapon Revival. It's a tongue twister. Yeah. So we now have relic weapons for all the jobs. We've got a sword and a shield for your paladins. You've got something called a fiery, I think, fairy for the monk. You've got a bravura, an axe for the warrior, a spear for the dragoon, a bow for the bards, your scepters for your white mage and your black mage. They're very exciting and they're very beautiful looking, and they all have a nice little blurb about their history, how they came to be and all that, and so that's pretty cool. What's not so cool is that you can now start the quest to obtain them, but you can't actually obtain them, which is kind of weird. You'll be able to complete part of the quest right now. I guess it's pretty challenging, so maybe it'll take people a while before they can even get them. But for right now, you can't even finish it until the patch is live. That's what they mean. Maybe 1.22b is live. So through quest progression, though quest progression is possible as of version 1.22b, which is the patch we just had, completion will not be possible until a future patch release. Yeah. So that's weird. So there's some candy for you, but you can't have it. So that's a little bit lame. But anyway, let's go back to the rest of the patch. There's been a lot of new recipes, so new craftable items. There's your usual. There's new side quests available. There's a new quest that's linked to the inn rooms. I'm not sure what it does exactly. But if you've already completed the first quest, obviously if you have an in-room, then you did, then you can go on to the next step. So yeah, a Relic Reborn is the quest you need for the relic weapons. And you go see Gerald, who is in the East Shroud at 5032. Okay, so more in quest. Now the one really exciting thing about this patch is the new Garlean stronghold in Castrum Novum. Oh no, the new Garlean stronghold in Mordona called Castrum Novum. So yeah, that's right. There's a new castle, so to speak, in Mordona by the Imperials. They're really putting a foothold in Erzea, those guys, and so there's a brand new content for you guys to conquer and go through. There's coffers in there, there's lots of rewards, so provisioners, what's this? Hamlet defense, there's instant defeat the area boss, 1,000 miles of Tarak, defeat Shaola. Okay, so there's new bosses added to the game as well. And a new Aerial Gate has been discovered inside Mordona, called the Jagged Crest Cave. So, there's lots of really cool, exciting things. Adjustments have been made, bugs have been fixed, and all that awesomeness. Now back to Mordona is, I guess from what I hear, is that this Castrum Novum, this new stronghold, is pretty awesome. It is a lot of fun. There's been pretty much all the comments I've heard so far. I've been really positive. This is brand new content as well, so I don't know. There might be negatives later, but for right now, it's been received really well. So much that one person went so far as to as to say that this is the most fun they've ever had in this game. So definitely check it out if you are of the required level and all that, and you've got your link shell ready to go and your friends, and go and storm the castle. So that's pretty awesome. Players will always be rewarded in seals from their own grand company. Okay, so yeah, when you receive seals, it's always going to be for your own grand company. Okay, well, I think we knew that. Okay, what else? What else? E3 is what's new. Oh yeah, so we were not going to get a trailer for E3, unfortunately, which was very disappointing and worrisome. But instead, we got a whole bunch. We got a handful of screenshots from the team, which was really cool. We got to see what the new graphics are going to be like. Most people were really pleased. There was a small percentage of discontent that, you know, they said, oh, the textures, they're not as good as we have now. Possibly some of the ground textures especially look like they're a lot simpler, don't have as a high polygon count as what we have now, which is, I don't think is a really big deal. I like to have nice ground textures, but if it's something we can add later, or, you know, if something that we can just add up for higher PCs, then awesome. But what they show usually for demos and all that is always at medium settings and graphic wise, so this is not the best that the game can look at anyway. Yoshi said that it can look as 15% better. That makes sense. So it's not a whole lot better than what it is. This is pretty much what it's going to look like on most people's systems, possibly on the console, so on the PS3. So I don't know, personally I kind of like it, even if it is a bit of a downgrade texturally. When it comes to ambience, when it comes to lighting, when it comes to shadows, it's way better. And I actually like the new colors. It's not as saturated as what we have right now. It's not as like ping color in your face. You know, it's more subdued and more natural, and it just looks really beautiful. Combine that with the shadows and the lighting and all that, and then the sky is just gorgeous. So I think it's really awesome graphically speaking. The new things about 2.0, Yoshida was able to have sort of an intimate interview with people that were interested in talking to him. So there was people from Gamerscape that were in attendance, Famitsu, and you know, other people from other press that are not so Final Fantasy oriented, which was kind of funny because there's one guy at the interview that didn't really know what he was talking about, and his article very much showed it, so we're all like, hee, you're not a fan. But anyway, so a lot of information came from that interview. Basically, we have chocobos. So yes, we have chocobos now, but what I mean is we're going to be able to raise chocobos. Nothing's been said about colored chocobos, I don't think, but you can raise them from chicks. We've seen in the concept art that was released along with the new screenshots, there's going to be a stable for the chocobos, so maybe that's where you'll raise them at first before we get our little houses. They haven't said, I think houses are coming later on, so right now we'll just stick with inns and whatever's in the city, which is fine. I mean, as long as I have a little apartment, I'm good. But so yes, and your chocobos possibly will be able to do more than carry you around, be able to carry your stuff, possibly, I think, and we're willing to fight with you and have things like cures and like fireball or whatever, like be able to cast things, and you have your magical chocobos or fighter chocobos or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. And so that's really neat. The other things that we have was there was word about the beta. So what's gonna happen in the fall and winter, going into the winter, is Final Fantasy XIV will continue on until about November, October, I think, around there. In September, there's going to be an alpha, but not everybody that's playing right now will just go into the alpha. There's be a select amount of people that will be invited to go. They said that it's not just going to be legacy players. Anyone that's playing probably has a really good chance of going as well. And after that, After the alpha's done, they're going to have the beta, and the beta, everyone is going to go in, and they kind of have to do that because they're actually shutting down the current version of Final Fantasy XIV, and you won't be able to play it anymore. And so you're going to lose the character that you have right now until they can move all the information to 2.0 client. So while that's going on, you'll be able to make possibly new characters. I don't think they're going to copy your old ones right away because they said that that was a big process. It's going to take about a month to complete everybody's transfers to 2.2. So we're probably going to get new characters for the beta that we'll be able to play with. And hopefully this time around in this beta, people will, you know, criticize, will not be afraid to criticize and say, okay, this is what needs to change, or this what could be done better, and not just blindly praise, you know, Square Enix for everything they do, because that was a big problem in the last beta. Maybe one of the reasons it failed. Personally, I think they would have released it because they wanted to release it at that time, and no matter what was said in the beta, they still would have released it because, I don't know, the last team seemed to be really pig-headed about that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't really know the politics of what happened exactly. I'm not going to get into that. But other E3 news, I know there's more of the summons, so we don't know if we're going to get the summoner job, but it looks like it's not going to be like what we're used to, where you'll be able to summon Ifrit and Shiva to your beck and call, because those elementals, or those, primals in Final Fantasy XIV are sort of like demigods. They're very huge creatures, they're very important, and you know, Yoshida said that he doesn't want a whole bunch of Ramus running around, or Ifrits, or whatever. He wants them to be, you know, very unique and very challenging to get, to be able to summon. So what's going to happen right now in the storyline is the Beastmen tribes are the ones that are summoning these guys. They're summoning Garuda and Ifrit, and then you're able to fight them and defeat them. In 2.0, those guys will be wandering the world, and a group of people from Malinksha possibly will be able to, you know, to challenge them, to enter combat against them, and once they defeat them, they gain the summon, and the summon disappears from the world and is only available to those people, and those people can use it in a battle against somebody, or I don't know if it's PvE or PvP or what, but yeah, they'll be able to summon them, and then once the summon is used in battle, it will be released released into the world, and the actual weather in the region that it's been used in will change along with whatever element it is. So if it's fire, I imagine it's gonna be really hot all of a sudden. If it's Garuda, it's gonna be really windy, and so on and so forth. So that's really exciting. So that, you know, we said that once a primal's been unleashed in a world, then Yoshi wants everybody to know that in the area that that's what happened. So that's really cool. And a lot of people were disappointed because they want to be summoners and they want to summon the big primals and all that. But yeah, personally, I find this is a lot cooler. It's more community oriented, and I like that aspect. I like that approach that he's going for. So, you know, more things that we can all do together as a group, and you know, involving even more people around, then that's pretty neat. And what else did we have from E3? Chocobo's talked about that. Housing will come in later. The new summon system. Oh, there's been railroad tracks have actually been spotted in the screenshots, and they asked Yoshida what that was about, and he wouldn't say anything. So he didn't say, you know, no, there's not going to be a train. Yes, there's going to be a train. He didn't say anything at all. So our guess is as good as any others at this point. So it'd be nice if we had a new mode of transportation, but there's already airships and Aetherytes, so I don't really know about that. Maybe it has to do with the current storyline. So someone's home, so I'm going to end this recording pretty soon. Changes to the crafting, so there's going to be a lot more refinement there. It's going to be a lot more involved and less kind of boring and annoying, I think, just because they want more people to participate in that. And that's pretty much it. Speaking of the beta, so it's been a really exciting E3. It's been more information than we expected for sure. And maybe there'll be a little bit more after this video. I doubt it. That's pretty much it. And go check out those screenshots if you haven't. Pretty sure most people have. But yeah, hang in there and go level your classes and go storm some Castrum Novum and Mordona. See you later.